Before you rush to judge, listen to my story till the end. What my husband did destroyed my world, but I can't even say he was wrong. He showed our children a video of me that changed the way they looked at me forever, and when they walked out of my life, I finally realized what betrayal really costs. My name is Rachel, and for 15 years I thought I had everything a woman could want: a caring husband, David, and 2 amazing kids. Our marriage wasn't perfect, but it was stable, full of laughter, Sunday breakfasts and family trips, or at least that's what I believed. But the truth is, sometimes people don't appreciate peace until they lose it, and I was one of them. It started with small arguments about bills, time, work, the same routine every day. David worked long hours at his job, and I stayed home more often than not. I began to feel invisible, like my voice didn't matter anymore. Then one day, I met someone through a community project. He was funny, full of energy, and said all the things I hadn't heard in years. I didn't plan for anything to happen, but the attention felt like air to someone who'd been drowning. I made one terrible, life-changing mistake. It lasted only a short time, but when it was over, I was filled with guilt. I told myself I'd never do something like that again. I'd fix my marriage, be a better mother, a better wife. But secrets don't stay buried forever. A few months later, David came home one night quieter than usual. He didn't yell. He didn't accuse. He just looked at me with eyes that didn't belong to the man I'd married. Cold. Empty. He placed his phone on the table and said, "I think you forgot something." On the screen was a video, one I didn't even know existed. I froze, my hands trembling. The color drained from my face. He didn't say another word, just turned and walked upstairs. I sat there for hours, crying, shaking, trying to figure out how he got it, who sent it, why it even existed. I wanted to beg, to explain, but deep down, I knew explanations meant nothing now. That night he slept in the guest room. The next morning he didn't even look at me. For days the silence in the house was unbearable. But what I didn't know was that David wasn't just sitting quietly, he was planning something. One Saturday morning, I heard the sound of our kids' voices in the living room. They were teenagers, old enough to understand but still young enough to be crushed by adult mistakes. I walked downstairs and froze at the doorway. David was sitting with them, his laptop open. My heart started pounding. He looked up at me and said in a steady voice, "They deserve the truth. I'm tired of lies." Before I could stop him, he pressed play. The video began, and within seconds I screamed, "Stop it, please. They don't need to see this." But it was too late. My son stood up, shaking his head. My daughter looked at me like she didn't even know who I was. "Mom," she whispered, "how could you?" And then they both left. They didn't pack anything. They just walked out the door and went to their grandparents. David didn't stop them. He just sat there, silent. I fell to my knees crying, begging him to understand. "You've ruined me, David. You've turned our kids against me." He looked at me with tears in his own eyes and said, "No, Rachel. You ruined yourself. I just showed them the truth." The next few weeks were the darkest of my life. I stayed in that big empty house alone. My kids wouldn't answer my calls. My husband filed for divorce. And everywhere I went, people looked at me differently. I'd walk into a store and feel the whispers behind me. I'd check social media and see vague posts about betrayal and family pain. The world knew. I thought about leaving town, starting over. But then, one afternoon I got a call from my daughter. Her voice was shaky but calm. "Mom," she said, "I don't hate you, but I can't look at you the same. Dad didn't do this to you. You did." And that was when it hit me. Revenge isn't always about rage. Sometimes it's about truth. Cold, undeniable truth. Months have passed since then. The divorce is final. My kids live with David. I see them occasionally, but the warmth is gone. They hug me out of obligation, not love. I lost everything. My marriage, my family, my respect. And now, when I sit in silence, I realize David didn't destroy me. I destroyed myself the moment I betrayed someone who would have given me the world. If there's one thing I've learned, it's that betrayal doesn't just break trust, it shatters generations. And when the truth comes out, it doesn't just set people free, it leaves the guilty ones alone in the silence they created. If you liked the video, please subscribe and turn on notifications.